Welcome back to the Kaleidosphere, a Dungeons & Dragons Play Podcast. I'm your Dungeon Master, Nathan. Joining me tonight are Grant.
Zachariah Harrows. The true treasure is the friends we make along the way, because we're not getting paid otherwise.
Cody.
Master of Meditation, Jack Rackman.
Pippin.
Moriarty. I told you, Jack, fishing's a very important part of this job.
Jonathan.
Mitzka. Oh man, I don't have one.
And Alex.
Wait, that was in mine. Wait, you what? No.
Skipped.
Wow. Denied.
Okay, Jonathan.
Mitzka, who's a backseat mother.
And Alex.
Clacker Volkson, donating to the needy.
Nice. Join us on episode 19 of our first campaign, To Whom the Sea Belongs. Last week, you did the worst pirating possible. while the rest, just to recap, while the rest of Elizabeth Chance's crew on the Black Sparrow, while they were going about, like, looting everyone, taking all their money, taking all their valuables, roughing them up, but not, like, they weren't butchering anyone, they were just, like, enjoying, basically acting like schoolyard bullies, pushing people around, taking all their stuff. Zachariah instructed some of the passengers on how to better hide their money. Jack found several sacks of gold and left them hidden instead of taking them. Moriarty stole food from the galley and then tried to put some of his own ship's food back into that galley.
To be fair, I
don't want to hear all this together.
The barrels of pumpkins are floating in the ocean. They can get the
Right.
food.
Elizabeth Chance did deny the food swap, but that was the purpose, or that was the intent. Mitzka offered emotional, trauma therapy to those that were looted. And Clacker gave money back to the people you had just looted. After all of that, you continued sailing for a little bit. You agreed not to stop off at a mysterious island that might or might not have had treasure on it, but you could just continue sailing. Jack was visited in a dream once more by the storm god that he had been visited once in the past. And after speaking with Zachariah the next morning, learned that this is Yold, the storm father, the spiritual king of the gods in the religion of Gamalism, which is practiced primarily in the north and in the west. And that's pretty much where we left off. Clacker still has the vitriol floaters in his eyes. You've got something like 15...
So pretty.
Yeah, something like 15 days of sailing before you reach the continental land. So, yeah, you can continue to discuss. I know there was kind of a conversation at the end of last episode about different spells that you might be able to use to get to Westanica faster, or to get back to Pendrahow, or just to learn more about Yold. So you can continue those at this point, or we can just kind of montage a couple days.
I do think at the end of the next day, I would be interested in Mitzka perhaps reaching out to their deity and asking if... Can you link me that spell, Mitzka?
Yes, one moment. Should be augury.
In pirate terms, I'm looking into his spellbook. Wait, clerics don't have spellbooks.
Pirates don't have spellbooks, and Mitzka is not a wizard. No, you did not level up. Zachariah was trying to pull a fast one on me. You're level 5.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No, he means you're level 5, I'm level 6.
That's just too bad, Zachariah. I too am also level 6.
Only in your dreams. When you're visited by Yold, you're level 6 for the duration of the dream, and then you're level 5 again.
Nice.
Yeah, so that is augury, I believe. Grant, if that's what you were looking for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so essentially, we can't overuse this. Gods don't like to be bothered. So, with Mitzka's help, he can essentially reach out to his deity and ask a question. Now, there's many questions that we might want to ask, but I'm curious if perhaps we could simply ask, for Jack's sake, if he continues along this path of accepting these boons, if that is good.
Yes, that seems like a wise course of action to me.
Because we don't know that this god is who they represent themselves as, would be my concern.
Yes, there are a lot of deceitful entities out there, and no offense, Jack, but you don't seem perhaps the most discerning fellow.
And then perhaps later tonight, Jack, after we've had our day, I can work with you on some ways to open up the human mind. Not magical, but more therapeutic.
Don't trust it for physically opening up the mind. He might put a hole in your face.
Well, I'll hear you out at least.
Alright, so do we want to do augury first?
Yeah, Zachariah would show a ton of interest in Mitzka, like kind of preparing this ritual and casting it, and I would watch very closely and like take notes and.
Yeah, I think she would be like laying out, like the cards and everything. I think she would take cards from Elizabeth. I think she would be like, she would ask like she had any nice playing cards squared away anywhere, and then she would like lay them out and kind of do like a tarot reading almost.
Yeah. So, let's see, I'm looking through the description. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan on taking within the next 30 minutes.
Oh.
No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. It says 30 days.
Well, we can play this. You could say, Jack is going to open himself up to more boons from Yold.
Oh, yeah.
Right, you can try to play this in different ways, otherwise I will... This is not something I will typically do, it's kind of a one and done thing for this voyage. I will let you make an Arcana check, Mitzka. Advantage because Zachariah is helping you. On a DC of 20 or higher, I will extend it to 1 week instead of the normal 30 minutes. Again, not something you'll normally get to do, just this one time.
Wait, a DC of 20 or higher?
Yeah, Arcana check with advantage.
Okay, well, nothing to do but try it. Alright, we got a 12.
Got a 12, so just the normal mechanics.
It's a very limiting spell. I thought you were more powerful, Mitzka.
And I thought you were wiser than to trash talk me.
Well, I'm not trash talking you. It's just merely an observation.
Well, if you were so powerful, then why can't you do this spell yourself?
I don't really fuck with gods. More attuned to the arcane. But that's the point of practicing clerical arts, is it not? To be able to commune with your god?
It's also for punishing people who do the wrong thing or perhaps don't know when to shut up.
Oh, damn.
I can't wait till Hudson's back. No offense.
None taken. I can't wait for him to be in my place as well.
I don't think that this is actually going to help us, because if it needs to be specific and we're going to say, well, if I were to do something, that just seems like we're fucking with things that are bigger than us and trying to trick them, and I don't know, maybe not a good thing to do.
Yeah, the whole self-fulfilling prophecy thing seems to come into effect here.
It's a good spell. I mean, if we were in a different context, if we were like right before we were to board that ship, be like, is this going to go badly? That would have been great. This, not so much.
Well, perhaps I'll keep it in my back pocket for that in the future.
You have pockets? I look at Clacker. Do you have pockets?
Oh, I think so. Oh, yeah. And I discover that my coat has pockets.
Don't you just have like a hole? A hole for keeping things in the back of your head?
My blowhole? No, it has my horn. It's not like a bottomless bag. I don't stick things into my blowhole for storage.
You had me fooled.
Did you wear the horn onto the boat, like when we were raiding it?
I haven't taken it out.
So you were like, you disguised yourself, but then you had this giant horn sticking out of your blowhole.
Yeah, I wrapped the rag around it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not massive, right? Like, you got a lot of it ground down, so it's like just a couple inches.
Yeah, it's not like a super big horn, but I mean, the size doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you use it.
That's what they all say. Size doesn't matter. Well, hey, maybe tonight what's the moon gonna be like tonight, Nathan? That's a random question.
That's a good question. Let's see.
Maybe you can ask your god that.
It is currently the 21st of Steam Spring.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yep. The moon is, we haven't determined this before. We're going to say the moon is waxing. It's roughly at a half moon right now. Waxing half moon.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we can just kind of skip ahead unless anything's like half. I don't know what the 69 was. I mean, I know what 69 is. I don't know what your rolling of 69 was. But...
Yeah, mysterious dungeon master rolling a D100, that's all.
Yep.
Nice.
Tonight, I would like to have some time with Jack.
Yeah.
When the moon hits Jack's eyes. I don't have the... I'll write the rest of that later.
Keep going.
Yeah, over the course of the day, I mean, there's the general kind of raucousness of the Black Sparrow, and Elizabeth leads some sea shanties. Some of the others break out over the course of the days, or over the course of the afternoon, rather. And the weather has taken a turn for the less helpful. It's not stormy by any means, luckily enough, but the wind is not blowing as consistently as you would like. So the they make do, but you're not making as good of time as you would hope. But night comes, the wind begins to pick up again, and you can speak with Jack at this point, and then I'll probably montage a couple days here. You're just kind of on the open ocean.
Okay, well, Jack, I'm gonna need you to come up to the front of the boat here, away where it's quiet. All right, now I want you to sit, and we find a place that's high enough to where he can kind of sit and without having an unobstructed view of the ocean. And then I kind of want to talk him through as best of my ability, how to focus on the left to the right, to the left to the right, the motion of the waves, unobstructed by the ships, no sounds, kind of trying to talk him through it. And if I can get him into a more relaxed state, I would like to ask him about the conditions under which his ship was destroyed and see if we can recall any new memories of it.
All right. Jack, you can kind of respond. You can roleplay that as you would.
Is there any new information per se?
I want to point out that Zachariah, when you said focus on the left, right, I thought you were about to have him do the Atari code. He's gonna get really happy.
Up, down, left, right.
I would lightly tap his shoulders too to assist.
Right. So, Cody, are there gaps in your backstory that you want me to fill in? Or do you kind of have it all?
I mean, that's what happened. I woke up. There was a big swirling vortex. Everything got sucked in.
You didn't pray out to the gods? You didn't offer up your life for service to anything? You didn't... Nothing?
Nope.
It does seem strange to be intervened with in this manner.
Nope. It just happened. I mean, I screamed, "Oh, what the hell is that?" as it chewed up the ship and everyone jumped off deck.
Right.
And got zapped and fried.
Jack, I believe that you are aware. Well, okay, here's the thing. Actually, if you weren't aware of this at this point, then the meditation actually kind of helps you focus and think about it from a different angle. So when the vortex appeared, obviously you were in the Devil's Triangle, which is kind of a hazardous area of maritime navigation. But when you went through the vortex and your ship kind of broke apart and your crew was lost, you clung to driftwood for a while. That's eventually how you washed up on the shores of Benjerhau.
Yeah.
But for a couple days before you made shore and found food and water, you were on an ocean that was unfamiliar to you. New constellations that are unlike anything that are appropriate for that region of the world. Constellations that you recognized briefly when you saw the parchment in Kraz's lair. These are constellations from other planes of existence. And so for at least a couple days, you were not on the material plane of Ner-Ohan, but you were drifting in the plane of water and possibly briefly the astral sea as well. I'm not quite sure.
Plane hopping. Fascinating. I've only heard very distant stories of power of that magnitude. I wonder if you're some sort of tether or beacon or something is... I don't know. It's all speculation.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I guess maybe that's a question for if you were visited again. Perhaps ask why. Why you, I guess. No offense.
Right. I get it. Why me? All I know is that it says that it thinks I'm capable of doing it. Whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing.
Ah, well, perhaps it is that simple then. The power within you. I mean, you're not learned, no offense. You didn't make any deals with any of these entities. You don't have a deity that I know of.
I mean, I do now.
But I mean, you don't specifically call upon them for your powers. I'm just saying all the magics that I am familiar with, seems that this magic is inside of you. It is intrinsic to your being. It is part of who you are. Tell me about your parents.
Yeah, I have no idea who my parents were.
Oh, well, that's probably that. Okay. Like, literally no idea?
I'm like Moriarty here. I'm a wharf rat. Except instead of getting raised to be a cook, I got raised to be a sailor. No offense.
Who raised you? I mean, what's the earliest thing you remember?
I was a little boy, and I was on a dock, and I was always fighting rats for food. And eventually these pirates came and said, let's just take this one. He'll be able to do as fine as anyone else. I don't remember my parents.
Well, without knowledge of your lineage, and without any other, magical training, I mean, we're at the proverbial dead end, as far as knowledge.
Right.
It is possible, though, not to give you any burdens here, it is entirely possible that you might know your lineage. And it's very likely that might be important. Not to you. I'm not trying to give you anything here. I'm just saying, I know that you flesh, blood creatures, mortals, with your short time, tend to value those connections. Whether you do or not, that's up to you. I'm just saying it might be useful information what your lineage is. And if Yold knows that you are capable of these things, it is likely he might know something of your lineage, and you might be able to get more answers from that, if its answers are what you seek. I'm saying there's many questions to ask.
I mean, I am seeking the answers.
Why don't you take me with you next time you dream?
I have no idea how I'd even go about doing that.
I wasn't sure if it was like something you could just take me with you.
I mean, I just go to bed. That's how it happens.
I could make you some notes of questions to ask, if you'd like.
Sure. But
I work
you've never
all
had a
night.
dream,
I give him
so, I mean, it's
5 pages of notes.
It's really hard for me to explain, but when you're having a dream, you don't... let me pull out my notes.
Interesting. I write something down. Can't take notes. I mean, why don't you just tell him to show himself?
I mean, he has. He's a big moose.
To us. I mean, if you're going to do something, it's going to be with us, because we're best friends. So why doesn't he just come talk to all of us?
I can ask him next time.
Plenty of room on the boat for mooses. Meese. Moses.
Moosin.
Moosin. Moosai.
Do you think I'm somehow related to a fish?
No. I have no indication you're related to a fish. Why did you ask that?
Well, I unwrap my hand, and I show Zachariah, I'm like, and I show him my hand is now, fully webbed, and there are, weird fish, fin protrusions coming from, my elbow.
I throw out my hands, I don't fucking know. Your father was a moose, and your mother was a fish.
Jonas, the sailor, glances over and he says, don't tell the new chef there, the one that's been training Theodore, young Theodore. I hear that Moriarty fella's real into cooking up all manner of fish, so you might want to keep that wrapped up.
I mean, perhaps.
You weren't supposed to see that. If you tell anyone, I'll gut you.
I've been drinking rum all night. I'm not quite sure what I've been.
So, a thunderfish.
Did somebody say something about a thunderfish?
A thunderfish?
Sounds like a song.
I don't know. As soon as I can get to a library, I'll study this. I'm as interested, well, maybe not as interested as you, but moose, fish.
Yeah, it started not long after that whole harpy debacle, I woke up and it started happening. Now it's getting quite advanced.
Well, I mean,
Do you think it's gonna stop?
No, it's not going to stop. You had some magic before you crashed, just not powerful magic, right?
Yeah, I could shoot firebolts. I could cast a healing word.
Sure. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someday I become powerful enough, a wizard, we can travel the plains together. We can go ask Yold himself.
This is like toward the evening or well into like kind of the moon rising at this point. So, Clacker, would you like to go ahead and make another charisma save?
Oh, yeah.
It's a DC 18.
Also, Mitsuka's gonna touch him and give him guidance.
Oh, yeah.
I did not phrase that correctly. Mitsuka is going to put her hand on his shoulder and give him guidance.
There is touching involved.
There is. It's a very platonic touching.
Oh, it was charisma, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I believe that.
A 2 and a 1. Or just a 2. A 2.
Right.
Jeez.
Great.
Well,
You're just destined to have vitriol floaters.
you can add 4 to that.
They're just floatier than ever.
Yep. Just floating in and out of the waves.
I have them too. They're not rainbow.
In the interest of time, there's not much else that happens on the open ocean on this particular leg of your journey. So I will allow up to 15 days to pass.
Ooh.
You can insert yourself anywhere along there. I'll let you make more saves. The crew gets a little bit grumpy and a little bit unruly toward the end of those 15 days, just because like the food is running a little bit low. The mead and rum is running even lower. So
I make a gallon a day.
oh, nice. They are in a much better mood to have you on board. I mean, a gallon doesn't go super far among 35 people, but they still appreciate the gesture. Helps it last a little bit longer.
Any of you who piss me off doesn't get rum for the day.
I have tea.
Everyone's on like excellent behavior around you.
So obviously, cabin boy, you get no rum.
Oh man, I was really hoping I could have some rum.
Moriarty's definitely going to be trying his luck fishing then. Especially if we're running low on foods.
Right. See if you can find something cool. You can go ahead and make like a survival check with advantage for that.
Alright. 21.
Very nice. Yeah, so you can easily find like some mundane fish and cook them up, no problem. You also, at one point, let's say after 6 days have passed, you spot a small pod of spear whales swimming nearby.
Well, boys, it's going to be a fun day.
Alright, you want to go spear whale hunting?
Yes.
Excellent.
He has a pep in his step that day. Before normal, he would pour his alchemy jug into an empty barrel and be like, alright boys, we're going fishing.
And so, once again, given the way spear whales work, how exactly do you want to go about procuring one?
Okay, see, what we're going to do is, if I catch one, we're going to bring it near the surface, and then we kill it before it breaks the surface, so that it doesn't shoot its protrusions everywhere and, maybe a few people die. But it tastes great.
Oh, all right, Moriarty. I'll be here with my kitchen knife, and I'll stab it once you pull it up out of the water, and then we can make sure that we cook it really good, right?
Yes. Now alright, once it starts getting closer to the surface, I need you to stand in front of me, okay?
Oh, okay, Moriarty. I can do this.
Alright then. Good.
What's the cabin boy's name again?
Theodore.
I'm pretty sure it's Rick.
You mean Morty?
Hey, Morty.
Rick and Moriarty.
Oh my god.
Rick and Moriarty. I love it.
I saw Alex just put his face in his
Alright.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack with your fishing pole. This is the equivalent of seeing if you catch it on your line.
Alright. 19.
Nice.
Oh, if it's fishing, but But yeah, 19 or 21.
Yeah, I would say you have advantage with that. It's your corpse forms giving you an edge.
Sweet.
Yeah, so 21, you absolutely snag it, and as you start pulling it up toward the surface, the water is the open ocean has waves, but it's not particularly stormy or choppy right now. So there's a little bit of size distortion underwater, but even so, you can see that this thing is growing substantially as it's getting closer to the water, or closer to the surface.
Alrighty, boys, it's expanding. Get ready. Once I get it closer to the surface, make sure you kill it first. Don't let it explode. Just start to reel in and fight the beast.
Yep, so you are reeling it in. Aside from Theodore, is any of the party assisting in the catching of this?
Sure.
Yeah, I think Mitzka is. I think she is casting guidance on Moriarty to make sure, in case the fish is fighting, that he has a little extra, magical support and bringing it on board.
All right.
I'm gonna be like, is that one of those goddamn fish you were talking about that explode? And I start shooting at it.
That's the spirit.
I'm just watching, kind of doing math, and like, I wonder how many people would have to die doing this for us to be able to take this boat without having to do anything evil.
All right, so Jack, you said you're shooting at it. With what?
I'll shoot at it with the guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt, nice.
Oof. 14.
That's a hit. The guiding bolt sears into the water and strikes this fish as it's like almost 40 feet long at this point. And is that 16 radiant?
Yeah, 16 radiant damage.
All right. Yeah, that's enough to kill it. You fry yourself a gigantic spear whale.
Hell yeah. Oh, I also misread something. Beer, I get 4 gallons a day. On my
Nice.
alchemy jug.
There you go.
Goes a little bit further.
And it's a little bit more. Yeah,
Right.
that goes a little bit more around.
Right. Yeah, so Moriarty, I'll need an athletics check from you to hoist this thing up. You can have both advantage and guidance on this, but it's a 40-foot long fish.
24.
All right, go ahead and add your guidance.
That's another, D4. Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
28.
Yeah. So you pull this thing up a little bit onto the, out of the surface of the water, and then as the other sailors see it, they throw a couple more hooks into it and help you pull the whole thing over, and it, tips the entire boat a little bit to the side as it rolls onto the deck. This thing is almost as, let's see, it's as long as half the boat itself, so it takes up most of the dock, not counting the forecastle and the aft castle. So it is an enormous beast that you've caught here, and you can get to work cooking it. However, it is that spear whales are appropriately cooked.
Alright, I'll cook it up pretty good. Well, boys, we're gonna be feasting.
Make a intelligence check with your proficiency modifier added for your chef's tools. Advantage.
Alright, so, yeah, advantage, so 24.
Yeah, your other roll would have been fine too, so that's a 24. You make a very delicious spear whale fillet, which will last the crew and save some of the rest of their supplies for quite some time. That's a 40-foot fish. That'll feed a lot of people for a long time.
Oh, boys. It's a feast. We got a beer, we got a good fish. I'm content for the day.
Huzzah! You're all cheering for Moriarty. And Theodore is just kind of standing there with his knife, and then he sort of pokes at the fish with it.
Yeah, good job, Moriarty, sir.
Part of me wishes it blew up and you took the spear, but I mean, what? Yes, thank you.
I thought I was learning from you. I thought you were my new dad.
It was a joke, lad. It's a joke, lad.
Like dads tell their sons jokes, right? It's like dad jokes? I see. Okay.
I wouldn't know.
Me neither.
Da-na-na.
So since 6 days passed, can I make 6 charisma checks?
Absolutely. I was just about to get to that.
Yes.
Go for it. I'm assuming you have guidance each time from Mitzka.
Thank you. That's what I was going to ask.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, here we go. A 7. A 16. Okay, this
Add
one's
guidance.
doable. Let's see. What is it, D4?
Yep.
Yes.
Yay!
Let's go!
That is a 4, makes it a total of 20. No more vitriol floaters.
Only the normal ones.
Just the normal ones.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, great.
Nice.
Thanks, Mitzka.
No problem. Actually, you're welcome. She would say you're welcome.
I imagine that when he gets them out, he like was rubbing his eyes, and then they actually just came out onto his fingers, and he just wiped them into the ocean.
I love that that's like how it looks to him. Obviously, there's nothing actually on your hands. But, let's see. Anything else as you all proceed ever eastward?
I'm gonna keep working on Jonas.
Harris. Jonas is the alive one.
For now.
Exactly.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working on Jonas.
Oh, I see. Like convincing him that it's fine to be a undead thrall.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, when you say it like that, but
Make like a persuasion check.
17.
And I got a 12. So he's especially seeing Harris like around and being able to continue an adventure. Jonas is like, that might actually not be such a bad way to go, really. Like, you get to keep doing what you love, just look a little worse for the wear, but, it's fine. Endless.
I mean, he looks pretty good. And I would kind of pull the hood down and show that, like, I've cleaned him up very nicely. There's no...
You would pull Harris's hood down, not your own?
Yes.
Okay.
And just show him that, like, I mean, this is up to you, Nathan, but, like, assuming with the use of my cantrips and with the use of my lantern, I would like him to look as like science class skeleton as possible. Like I want this to be a very perfectly kept kind of, just to kind of like lower the stigma for him too, of like it being some sort of like tattered undead, with like bits of flesh hanging off, and just show him how clean it was.
Right.
With a pumpkin on its head, right?
All the pumpkins are in the ocean.
Make sure to leave aside one.
Zachariah, did you want to put a pumpkin on Harris's head?
No, I'm not going to. Harris was a good lad.
Okay.
Not going
Did you
to
not like
tease.
pumpkins?
Not going to tease him by putting food on his head.
Well, Harris's skeleton is excellently preserved except for his teeth, which were not the best when he died. And you've been able to do you have like prestidigitation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can like clean them up, but you can't remove like the permanent staining from like too much tea and rum and stuff. So they're like a little bit browner than the rest of his body, but he's otherwise in pretty good condition.
Wave to your friend, Harris.
Harris does so. He's missing a couple molars, so he's got like kind of a snaggletooth skeletal grin, but he waves at Jonas, and Jonas kind of waves back. Good to see that you're still up and about, Harris. I'm glad you're able to keep sailing with us.
Well, he can't talk. Maybe someday. I mean, I am seeking to improve my abilities, but he can understand you, though. He can speak any of the languages he knew in his life. He can't speak, but he can hear you.
I see. Well, again, Harris, I mean, I'm glad to see you're able to continue doing what you love. Harris will just kind of be a slow, like, clanky nod.
All right. I kind of pat him on the back and put Harris's hood back up and just think to myself, like, one down, 7.2 billion to go. Or however many people are in the world.
Right.
Your world.
Let's say somewhere around 3 billion. I'm not sure if you would know that. I don't think there's been, like, a huge census done, but it's either
Sure.
like pre-modern or post-apocalyptic modern revamped into 1800s. So
Okay.
all that to say, yeah, around 3 billion. Great. So 6 days pass. The moon is up to like 3/4 waxing at this point. We're gonna fast forward through the next 9 days. I did some math wrong. So there we go. Okay, I was just keeping up with the calendar so I know what season it is and all that. For those of you keeping track, the end of Steam Spring comes and goes, and you're now into the early days of the month of Rain Summer, which is roughly the equivalent of like May in our real world calendar. And after these days, like all together, it's been about 24 days on sea, 25 days on sea. And you see a strip of land ahead of you, stretches out to the horizon in either direction. This is not merely an island. This is a substantial landmass. Elizabeth Chance calls out, "Land ho, mates. Water ho there, Clacker. That's you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Given the currents and the prevailing winds, we blew just slightly off course. Not to worry. We're still on track to get to West Danica here real fast, but I'm pretty sure that's Reniyenan up ahead of us. So, gonna make a quick overnight stop, load up on our supplies, and we'll be back to West Danica within like 3 days.
What's the stop for?
Just restocking, getting new food. We actually have enough food now. Just restocking on our liquor, repairing that sail that got damaged.
Can you just stop on the way back? We don't really have a lot of time.
Yeah, Theodore, can you kind of take stock of the food and see what what we might need?
Oh, we still have a lot of. We just finished the fish, ma'am, captain, sir. So it's we've still got a lot of our salt pork, and we have the potatoes that we stole from the other ship.
And she's like, well, Zachariah, the boys really could use more to drink than just what Moriarty's been producing, which we're very grateful for Moriarty's fluids, but it'd be...
Jesus.
I'm not sure I'm really appreciating the
Is
phrasing.
Moriarty paying for this visit in ways I'm not privy to?
I'm not sure what you're reading into there. That's get your mind out of the gutter, mate. That's not all what I meant.
What's a gutter?
Anyway, let's just stop off for a couple hours. We'll fill up the barrels of ale. We won't make it an overnight stay. If you're insistent about that, we'll be right off.
Does she have ulterior motives I can pick up on at all?
Make an infamous insight check.
11.
Iconic insight check.
Give me a second to pull up her character sheet.
I think that's the name of the last episode. Insight.
Let's see.
There's got to be the pirates who don't do anything joke there somewhere.
I was thinking like a mutiny on the Bounty.
She got a 10 on her persuasion. So you are aware she doesn't really have any ulterior motive other than keeping her crew happy and avoiding like a potential mutiny. They don't seem that they're like that bad off right now. Like you as a crew of 5 wouldn't have to worry about getting swept up in a mutiny. But obviously like this is a long-term deal for her and she doesn't want to be like overly harsh on them. So if she can take a few hours to restock some supplies and shove off before nightfall, like
Sure.
you see no other ulterior motive to her.
It's a couple hours, I guess. As long as that's all it is, Zachariah will just shrug.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you talked her out of an overnight stay because, like, you know, you would understand this, even though you're not necessarily a sailor yourself. Like, you know, the sailors need their time on shore to kind of, like, you know, drink, gamble, have general merriment and carousing, whatever else they would do.
Sure.
So,
Basically whorehouses.
right.
Sure, leave.
Yeah, so, I mean, she has their, like, general well-being in mind, hoping for an overnight stay, but you can talk her into just, like, restocking on supplies. And so with that said, you pull up to shore by the mid-afternoon. It's a minuscule town compared to other things that you have seen. Again, as she said, this is the nation of Reniyenan. So there's like pines and coniferous trees as far as you can see in either direction, and just like small wooden houses popping out of the trees.
What a lovely little place.
Yeah, in the couple hours that she has her boat restocked, you can explore the town if you want to. I imagine Zachariah is a little bit more single-minded right now, but I don't know. You've got a couple hours.
Is there anywhere to get tea here?
Probably so. Make a investigation. You can use charisma as your modifier if that's better for you.
It'll just take away the -2.
Okay, so yeah, charisma.
So that is a 2.
With a 2, what languages do you speak, Lacquer?
I speak Arohavian, Trade Speak, and Celestial.
Okay, so with Arohavian, that's one of the main languages that they speak here. They speak a dialect of Arohavian that's mixed with kind of the traditional Arohavian that you're familiar with, as well as a dialect from like some of the native peoples that are like more ancient than the Arohavians that you're aware of as well. So some of their words are a little bit different, but again, with a 2, you're not able to find any tea specifically, but you can find, you know, their inn, which has plenty of ale and beers and stouts on tap. So I know that's not really to Clacker's taste, but that's what you can find.
Yeah. Okay.
Moriarty's writing up a generalized list of things that refuses to call him by his real name. Cabin boy should get every time you go to Port Town.
Yes, Moriarty, sir. Wait, what's this list for?
Things you got to go pick up in order for, the ship to run, the galley to run.
Oh, okay, right, I can do that. And I know what oranges are now. But if they only have pumpkins, should I get more of those?
No.
So, if they don't have oranges, but they do have pumpkins, you still don't want any pumpkins.
No pumpkins. You don't even know what to do with a pumpkin. There's no point in getting it.
Okay, well, I'll go see if they have oranges. I'll get more potatoes and some more salt pork.
Some potatoes, pork. If they have some tomatoes, those are good too.
Okay, I'll see what they have. Maybe some corn and green beans too.
Yes, those actually. Well done. Good job.
Thank you. It only took three weeks of lessons for me to figure that out.
I like how Theodore's just accepted Moriarty as his boss. Moriarty's like running this kitchen, spending Elizabeth's money for them, like writing up purchase orders and stuff. He's just full, he's in.
Right.
It is what it is, I mean, she can't really complain when I'm that much better than he is.
So, Jack, Mitzka, and Zachariah, are the three of you going to do anything in these 2 hours, or are you just going to hang out on the boat?
So, would Mitzka know about Reniyenan? Is that how you pronounce this?
Reniyenan.
Reniyenan. She is a wayfinder, so would she know that every town or like tribe tends to have some sort of augur, like some sort of oracle?
Yeah, probably so. I like that kind of contribution to lore, so we'll say that is canon, and Mitzka would know that.
Yeah. Well, this is something you wrote. I am using.
Cool. I didn't remember that. So
yeah. Oh, I literally, when you said where we were going, I was like, and then I like went to the Google Doc you shared, and it says like, let me find the exact.
Right. You were the anonymous wombat. I was wondering.
Yes, that was me. And yes, so I think Mitzka would take Zachariah to go visit this augur and try to kind of like learn, both have him or her predict the like what might be going down on this voyage, what's happening back at Cliffs Bay, and what's going on with Hudson, and then just also learning like general kind of auguring practices, as it were.
All right. That was several questions, so let me take them in order.
Yeah, sorry, I've been planning.
No, you're good. Run through them again, and I'll see what you can know. They're a very like friendly and cooperative community.
Okay. What possibly could happen on this voyage? Like what might occur, good or bad? Mm-hmm. What's going on with Hudson? If he's alive, what kind of condition he's in. What's going on in Cliffs Bay and like with Master Kinawan, and just kind of learning, like, in general, like, more about augury, and perhaps if we can learn anything that would help Zachariah and I.
Okay, so the, what could go wrong, or what might be, something that you should expect on the voyage, that's one that the town shaman answers. This is an elderly man with, like, heavily cataracted eyes, and,
Jeez.
Imagine a slightly more, like, decrepit version of Miracle Max from Princess Bride.
Gotcha,
He's got like the long shaggy hair, but patches of it are like missing, and he's bald in some spots. And he says like, oh wait, what languages do you speak, Mitzka?
I speak Trade Speak and Draconic, I believe, are the only two I speak.
Okay.
So perhaps Zachariah could translate if he speaks Arohavian. Or not Arohavian.
Yeah, Arohavian.
Oh yeah, Arohavian.
I do. I just speak Arohavian. And island dialects, and Libriac, and Nahua, and Shamot, and Silan, and Arketian, and Trade Speak.
In short, you can be a translator.
I can absolutely be a translator.
Excellent. So
I don't always, it's more of like the letter of what they're saying, though. Like, I can feel literal translations. I can't always necessarily understand what people are saying. You know what I mean?
Well, you'll do your best. I suppose that's what counts.
So through Zachariah, the shaman can explain that on your trip from this small town of Imaknap, from the nation of Reniyenan, southeast along the coast to West Danica, you are unlikely to experience significant bad weather, according to the Augury reading. You used tarot cards for yours. The shaman is using knuckle bones for his.
Gotcha.
So he says, you're unlikely to meet severe bad weather. You should make it within 3 or 4 days. Leaning toward a 3. Looks like the omen is leaning toward weal rather than woe. You're likely to get good results. Once you are in West Danica, the reading suggests confusion and difficulty, but an unexpected ally as well.
All right.
As for the status of Hudson and Kinawan in their respective situations, that's outside of the bounds of Augury. That'd be like clairvoyance or something more of that nature. I'm forgetting the other divination spells at the moment, but I believe that would be within the scope of clairvoyance, which this shaman only knows up to level 2 spells, so is not able to actually like divinely check in on them in any way. But another Augury reading just of like their general nature reveals that they are both experiencing duress but are at least alive.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And I think that that's like a little bit liberal of kind of an interpretation of what Augury can actually do. So I think I'm giving you a little more than I should. But
Okay, so she says she's a liberal.
it's also a he, but
well, Zachariah never knows the gender ever.
No, I translate it. I say that I would probably try my best to soften the news about Kenwan.
Okay.
They're doing fine. There's some minor inconveniences, but they're fine. I rolled a 4, so I mean, I'm very obviously.
All right. I rolled a 17.
Do insight instead of perception. I highly doubt it'll make a difference.
You never know. I only have 16. All right, that made a lot of difference.
Yeah. So I mean, Kenwan is doing great. Some things, minor things, but fine, totally fine.
Mitzka definitely sees that Zachariah's lying, but then just says, "That's good to hear." Yes, but you can like see like her fists clench a little more, and she definitely does not buy the comfort. I think is maybe more stressed about the fact that he is trying to comfort her.
Right. Well-intended negative consequence.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, anything from Jack in the brief layover in this city or this village?
Do they have anything for sale here?
They do. You pull that up.
Swing by the shops.
Anything that you could find in the player's handbook is available. Textiles or like cloth and wood material is 50% the normal market value. Everything else is 200% the normal market value.
What about wood carver's tools? Would that be 50% since it's kind of woody?
That would be 50%.
Do we need to tell you what we buy, or can we just do it?
You, in the interest of time, you can just do it. Just subtract the appropriate amount of gold. You can also do that like between sessions and just say like between now and episode 20, you can just say you did that in this town.
All right. Yeah, I'll go shopping. I don't think there's anything particularly I find that's good, though.
Okay.
Maybe some nice clothes, some new boots and pants and stuff, but...
Yeah, build out your wardrobe after.
It's always need a new assless chaps.
Right.
Always looking to upgrade the wardrobe.
I will say while you're doing your shopping, you hear do you speak Arohavian?
No.
Okay.
I speak West Anakin and trade speak and primordial.
Okay, so primordial. So there's a couple merchants that speak trade speak, and they will happily do a little bit of translation to try to help out their friends, like selling you some wares. But one of them will, it's kind of broken trade speak, not fully fluent in it, but she will mention, there's been a monster stole sheep from my cousin. Large footprints, like a big dog, something. I was hoping you could. You're adventurer, yes? I was hoping you could look into this.
How much does it pay?
The wool would be free for your new clothes if you protect our sheep.
I'll gather the crew and see if we have time.
Thank you. And she apparently believes that it's a done deal. Might have been a translation error, or it might have been a sales tactic. You're not quite sure.
Sure.
But once you all reconvene on the boat, you can kind of share that information and decide whether you sail on or assist this poor woman.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Do you think we have time to kill some sort of a beast that's been plaguing these people? Some sort of a big dog, they said.
We said no side quests.
All right.
But, I mean, like, what's that? I mean, is Snort going to be mad if we don't?
Who?
Snort. Clort. Norton. Your
Listen.
god. The guy who gave you the powers.
I don't know what he wants exactly, all right? He wants me to go back to Cliff's Bay as fast as we can, I think.
Okay, this is perfect. Mitzka.
Yes.
Roll your bones and ask, or not your bones, do your cards and say, if we help these people, will Snort, will Jordan help us get there faster if we help these people? That's what he wants, right? He wants us to help people.
All right, well, I have cards, and I will consult them and see what the astral currents might tell us.
And we can know good, bad, doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, we go. If it's bad, we go. If it's good, we don't go.
All right, I'm going to cast Augury again, Nathan.
Yeah. And the tarot cards are... I'd like an Arcana check from you, Mitsuka, just to see like how precisely you can kind of decipher this.
Okay. Arcana check. And a 4.
Okay, so I'm not penalizing you. I'm just not giving you as much as I otherwise would for a 4.
Gotcha.
So the general sense of the reading is that if you help them or if you abandon them, your end result is probably not going to be altered.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, good luck!
I think, Mitsuko would then, inform the rest of the party. Like,
Wait. Fuck. Wait.
I was intentionally cryptic with that.
No,
I can hear the cogs turning in Grant's head.
No, wait, listen. This is weird about you meatbags. If he's truly good, so helping them because it helps us is another neutral act. This is so hard being good. So I think we have to help them even though we don't know if it's going to help us. I think that's like what makes it a good thing instead of self-serving.
But do we know if we'll have time for it if we're on this? We do have a bit of a time crunch.
I have no clue how to be good. I'm a literal necromancer. Being neutral is a stretch. This is hard for me, okay? I don't know. I'm just saying, hypothetically, putting myself into the shoes or hooves of the moosefish god. If someone was like, oh, I'll fucking help these people if you make me go faster, I'm like, fuck you guys. But I don't know. I'm just saying, it's not just about getting Hudson. It's also getting Hudson, getting back, maybe not losing the entirety of Cliff's Bay, because that's going to set the massive scales back quite a bit.
Yeah, I suppose Master Kinawan always said to not lose sight of helping people. I suppose we should stop and do what we can.
I mean, and I guess if we're stopping, we can just say, oh, well, we changed our mind, you guys can have your layover, and the group will be happier with us.
What if we get to Hudson and he's dead, and we're like, he died 12 hours ago?
Well, I don't suppose you would have much of an opinion on that subject, because either way, he's yours, right? You know, the whole...
That's hard to argue with. I mean, it is Hudson's right to live his life and seek his goals that he had in his life. I want to support him in that as a friend, but yes, I mean, death is not necessarily the end. But he doesn't want to be dead. He wants to be alive.
Well, that much is true, yes.
Perhaps your friend would want us to help other people along the way.
Oh no, he would not give a fuck. He would have one question, what's in it for him, which is fine. Jack?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, it's like you said, it's kind of a catch-22. If I try to do good for the sake of being good, it's not really good. I wouldn't mind some free clothes.
Oh, God.
I mean, is there a possibility this is like a secret quest that the god doesn't want you to tell you about, but he's not saying don't do it, you know?
How am I supposed to know what
I
is or
don't
isn't?
know.
Look, I don't think we're going to, get it right but we start maybe small, right? Like we're like, this wasn't a terrible thing. We didn't rob anyone. We helped someone. I don't know. Clacker, we don't know what to do. Do you have any decisive opinions?
No.
Well, Mitzka, you're the only one who feels strongly. Let's go help these people really quickly.
Yes, let's do it.
Right, does that mean we're actually all having a layover?
We are having a layover.
We're going to help people.
Hey, you hear that, boys? You can head into town, have your revelry. Go ahead. Go on, get out of here.
Well, wait. Fuck. Can it be legal revelry since we're so close to, like, civilization? Can you,
I think that's what she was implying. I don't think she's gonna rob these people.
Yeah, the implication was not that she's telling them to go, like, pirate the entire village.
Okay.
They're gonna go enjoy the pleasures of the flesh, drinking, being merriment, all that
it
stuff.
still might burn the village down on accident.
I
Well,
mean,
but that's a
if
daily
that
but not on
happens,
purpose.
that's a totally understandable accident.
Right.
That could happen to anyone at any time.
Okay. Well, this is a selfless act, but Yold, if you don't help us, I'm never helping people again. Let's go.
All right, and we will find out the fruits of your labor next session. This has been the Kaleidosphere, To Whom the Sea Belongs. Thank you for joining us on this epic voyage. If you enjoyed this, then you hopefully know what to do by now. Please give us 5 stars. Let everyone else know who might be interested in this to please give us a listen. If you want to get in touch with us, and we would really love to hear from you, go to linktree/the Kaleidosphere to find links to our Discord and Twitter and email, and pop on and let us know what you think. This campaign is dedicated to Brandon, who we hold in loving memory. To Whom the Sea Belongs is a campaign set in the Kaleidosphere. That's kale, like the vegetable, Ido, I-D-O, sphere. Join us next week as they follow Mitzka's lead and try to help these people.